This is Regis program, and you're tuning into True School Sports.
It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I wanted to talk about the heavyweight division. We all know Tyson Fury is never a boring subject to talk about when it comes to this sport of boxing. Now, I'm not gonna get into like the Anthony Joshua thing, the contracts and negotiations. That's a never-ending saga that I just don't feel like getting into, because unless we're talking about a fight being signed, there really is no point with me covering every last little thing. If a fight gets signed, if we get some real news, we'll definitely cover it here on True School Sports. But what I wanted to speak about is something interesting. Now, Tyson Fury's been calling out Anthony Joshua, calling him everything under the sun. He's been even calling out these lower level heavyweights like Charr, who really shouldn't even be relevant to the situation, but somehow they are because it's boxing. All right, but what I wanted to highlight was, why isn't Tyson Fury, why is he not being as adamant about wanting to fight a guy like Joe Joyce? He was there ringside. He was there ringside when Joe Joyce knocked his friend out and Joseph Parker. Why didn't he do what he did with Wilder, hop in the ring? Or why did he not at least say, hey, you know what, I want to fight Joe Joyce next? Because I'll tell you this, Joe Joyce is no spring chicken. He's got only 15 fights in the pros, but he's 37 years old, and he's trying to fight for them titles. He's trying to make his mark in the sport fast and now. And I'm sure he'd be willing to fight Tyson Fury. But then now you have Tyson Fury coming on social media talking about, like, he said recently, he acknowledged, he was actually respectful of Joe Joyce. He said, Joe Joyce is a very good heavyweight. He'll get his shot, but your time is not now. And when I hear that, that's code for me. The way I decode that is like Tyson Fury isn't anxious to get in the ring with Joe Joyce, and that all of a sudden money does mean something to Joe Joyce, because Tyson Fury says a lot of things. He says money doesn't mean anything and all these things. But then when Joe Joyce wants to fight him now, I think money does become a thing, because Joe Joyce is one of these guys that when you fight him, he's gonna beat you up slowly. You don't truly understand what a unit this man is until you get in front of him. His nickname is the most appropriate nickname in boxing, the Juggernaut. He's an absolute juggernaut. I mean, he's pushing 6'6", 260 plus pounds, but it's not even so much as like his measurables and his frame. I mean, those things are intimidating, but when you take how he's built and then you combine that with how he fights, then it makes him that much more dangerous. He's 6'6", he's 260, yes, but then you got an elite chin. He's one of these guys, you hit him with everything. You saw Joseph Parker hit him. You've seen plenty of heavyweights hit this guy. Dubois, all these guys, they hit him flush, and he doesn't move. He's got this granite chin, so that's a plus. Stamina is great. This is a guy that I've seen him train. I've seen Joe Joyce train. I've seen the coach with the clicker there in the gym, counting his punches per round. He's throwing 114 punches per round with no problems. 100 plus punches per round, no problems. And they're not like pity pat punches. They're grown man punches. He's trying to punch holes through you. He's trying to punch holes like he's trying to really put a beating on you, put you on the dialysis bag if possible. That's the way he fights. He throws boulders, like Evander Holyfield once said when I interviewed him. Some fighters throw rocks, some fighters throw boulders. He throws boulders, and you don't want to get you don't want to get with too many, because you can only take so much. As we've seen with Dubois, he got his eye closed. We saw with Joseph Parker, a courageous man who's never been stopped, who really I thought was the best version of himself on the night. And Joe Joyce still showed the expert quality to stop him with that devastating left hook. And Tyson Fury saw it, and I saw the expression on Tyson Fury's face when he landed that punch, and he was like, that was. If you go back and watch the Joe Joyce Joseph Parker highlights, you'll see Tyson Fury sitting ringside. I want people to go back and watch Tyson Fury's reaction ringside. Just don't even watch the knockout. Watch his reaction. He had the reaction of somebody who knew what he just saw. He knew that that's a guy that is coming for him. That's a guy that's coming for him and anybody who has the courage to get in his way in the heavyweight division. Joe Joyce is maturing into one of the best heavyweights in the world. A lot of people used to say he was too slow, and I was one of those people at one point. But then, then the Dubois fight happened, and then you kind of began to see there's a method to the madness. There's a method to the way he fights, and then he got with Ismail Salas, and Salas has Joe Joyce a bit more defensively responsible, punching off of more angles, and he's gonna be a really, really hard guy to beat. And I just feel like he's one of these guys that unless the money is all the way right, Tyson Fury isn't going to be anxious to get in the ring with him. Neither will Anthony Joshua. And we know Usyk, and I just learned this recently because I don't know how I didn't hear about this, but like last year, Usyk, because you know Joyce is WBO mandatory. Usyk didn't even want to get in the ring with Joe Joyce because him and his team, they put this ridiculous offer out last year. It was like they wanted to give him a 93-7 split. They wanted to take 93% of the purse, and they wanted to only give him 7. And then Usyk was in the media trying to justify it and things like that. And it's just like when you have those kind of numbers, like I don't want to get into the money side of things because it's, you know, we've done enough of that in boxing with the Crawford, you know, Spence thing and all that stuff. And that's just something I'm trying to do a lot less of here. You know, I want to talk about the sport, but you know, that when you make those kind of offers, that's like you're being disrespectful and you don't want to fight, you know? So with that being said, I just think for a guy like Fury, we've seen it in the past. We've seen that Tyson Fury, if you can get to him, which is the hardest thing, but if you can get to him, you can hurt him. It's just that nobody's shown the expert quality to finish him. Wilder wasn't patient enough in the first fight when he had him hurt to get him out of there in that 12th round. You know, Steve Cunningham didn't finish him. Nikolai Furta and Evan Pajic. You know, he's a hard guy to finish because he's got a lot of resolve and he's got a lot of courage and a lot of, you know, fortitude about him. But I really feel like Joe Joyce, with the way he fights, that jab that he lands and that he throws so consistently, it's kind of like a George Foreman jab. It's consistent. It's powerful. It gets your attention. There's a high output, and it's a power punch in itself. And he beats you up slowly, and he beats the fight out of you. And you know, who wants to fight a guy like that for little money? You know, when you could fight, you know, a lesser fighter for more money. You know, so I get it. It's prize fighting. It's a business. I get all that stuff. But you know, I just wanted to point that out. Tyson Fury, he's anxious to fight Anthony Joshua. He's anxious to fight Manuel Charr. He's anxious to fight the quote-unquote middleweight. But when it comes to the juggernaut, nothing but respect. Nothing but, you know, kind words. Nothing but, you know, I'll fight you later on. It's not your time now. So that lets you know everything right there about Joe Joyce. How the way Tyson Fury is acting towards him. Now, it is Tyson Fury, so for all we know, in a day or 12 hours time, he could change his mind and say, Joe Joyce, I'm calling you out, you know, and because that's just how he is. But at this moment in time, that hasn't happened, and he said what he said about Joe Joyce, and I don't think he wants to fight him right now because he saw what he saw ringside. So leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys hit the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button, and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.